guys, Chelsea Kenyon here, www.chelseakenyon.com for tips and techniques for your direct sales and network marketing business. Okay, so let's talk about tagging, shall we? Now, if you are in any sort of direct sales or network marketing group for your business, likely you've been tagged in posts. And I want to explain why this can actually harm your business rather than building it. Now, we tend to think of tagging as a way for us to alert our new recruits to potentially valuable information, whether it's about our company, whether it's about our products, whatever it is we want, or if somebody posts important information, like immediately, we tend to want to tag our teams so that they don't miss anything. But here's the problem with that. Tagging can teach your recruits and your new people. It's basically training them to expect that information to be kind of handed to them. They aren't taught that they need to find it themselves, that they need to be active in the group themselves, and they need to check in, once or twice a day or once every other day, whatever level of, a participation that they are with their business. So when you start tagging them, it does two things. First of all, it prevents them from feeling like they need to go check the group because they start to rely on that tagging. You know what I mean? Like they start to feel like I don't even need to go check the group because if anything important is if anything important is posted, my upline's going to tag me in it. So it really creates this this culture of people just relying on these tags. It also can be detrimental because when you have somebody new, for some people who want to hit the ground running, it's fine. But for a lot of people, starting a new direct sales business can be extremely overwhelming. So not only are they added to your Facebook groups and training pages and chats and whatever else, now their notifications are blowing up with these tags of this information. And it's simply too much for any one person to absorb all this information at once. There's a few rarities out there that can handle that level of information, but most people really need to take it bite-sized pieces. You know what I mean? So there's a couple different things that you can do. First of all, when you have a new person joining your team, explain to them right off the bat. Say, listen, I'm not going to tag you in every little thing because honestly, this is a business and you have the responsibility of checking into the group once a day, twice a day, every other day, set up a system with them that works, that's convenient for their schedule, and also to where they're not going to miss anything. You need to teach them early on how to find this information, how often to check in, what things to look for, because there's going to be times when you're not around. What if you go on vacation for a week and can't tag anybody? What's going to happen? Are they all just not going to get any information because they completely rely on you tagging them in every little thing? So it's really important that early on that you don't tag them. Don't tag them in anything. Tell them where to find it instead. That's always the best way to go because now you're teaching people to be self-sufficient and teach them where to find things. So when they ask you a question, instead of tagging them in something or instead of giving them the direct answer, explain to them how to find the answer, where to find the answer, where the location of the answer is, and how to get there. Whether that's, hey, you know what? That was posted as a file in our business group. So why don't you go to our business group, whatever title the group may be named, and check out the file section, and here's the document you want to look for. If they still are having trouble finding it, then it's appropriate to tag them and say, so-and-so, here it is, until they get their bearings, because it can be overwhelming, especially if your particular business does have multiple layers and layers of groups to where they have to get their bearings early on. But tagging people repeatedly over and over again and saying, tag your teams and tag your teams, it can really, really be a huge detriment. Especially, when you have different people, like not everybody works their direct sales business full time. Not everybody has their phone glued to them at all times, like I do. But, they may have a full-time job. And so here you are blowing them up with tags and their notifications are just all these tags. And they get home from a long day at work and they're like, oh, I wonder, I should check in on my direct sales business. and they are bombarded with tags and information. You know what's going to happen? They're going to ignore it. They're going to start resenting it and ignoring it, and it's going to have the opposite effect of your intentions, which were to direct them to particular important training materials. So there are times when tagging is appropriate if it's a time-related issue. Like, let's say something was found out about the company or the products that everybody needs to get their eyeballs on, like, immediately. Like, let's say there was a hurricane that destroyed the warehouse, and so, you know what I mean? Like an extreme, I'm talking about an extreme situation. That's when it's okay to tag your teams. Or in a situation where you're posting something really important, like maybe a change to policy, you know, something like that, something very important. Tagging should really be limited to 3 to 4 times a month, I would say would be a good average. That way you're not overwhelming people. So here's the thing. If you have information, let me rewind. Another issue with over tagging is that when you tag somebody in something, when it's considered a comment on Facebook, even though you're just tagging somebody's name, and so everybody that has commented is now going to potentially be alerted that there was activity on this post. So it causes everybody to go, wait, what? And go check out the information, and then they're probably like, okay, this is old information. But it can affect that post. It also bumps that post to the top of the group. So if you're tagging your person in a post that really isn't possibly relevant for the here and now, but for whatever reason you want to direct your new person's attention to it, it bumps that post to the top and almost makes it look like it's new content. And we definitely don't want to do that. So there is an option for when you do want to direct your new recruit to, you know, some good information. And that is to either remind them maybe once a week, be like, hey, I hope you checked out the group. There's lots of new information, lots of great posts, lots of information, blah, blah, blah. The other thing is to use the Permalink feature. Now, depending on when you're watching this video, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe you're watching it next year or the year after. Maybe this information isn't correct. So Google how to find a permalink on Facebook, and that will give you the most current information. As of right now, if you're on your computer to find the permalink, all you do is locate the post, click on the tiny gray date under the person's name, indicating the date or the time it was posted. Click on that. That is going to open that particular post's individual URL. So you simply copy that URL and you can paste it to them in a private message and say, hey, here's some information that I think you would find helpful. If you're on your phone, I can't remember exactly how it works, but from the app, and this might be outdated depending on when you're watching it, there's an arrow in the upper right-hand corner and it says copy link. So you just want to copy that link and then just paste it into the communication with your new recruit. But this whole idea of tagging your team and every little thing, like I said, can be very detrimental. It can wear on people. And the better thing to do would be to teach them from the beginning to check into the group themselves. And when you create this kind of, self-sustainable community, if you have to leave, if you have something that takes you away from your business for a couple days or even a week, even a month, who knows what could happen. If you are taken away from your business, your team is not going to just wither because you're not, tagging them in every little thing. They're going to know how to find the information. They're going to have been taught early on to check into the groups themselves and look for this information. Everybody is so different. Everybody runs their businesses completely different. And so we have to give everybody that respect to run their businesses how they see fit. But we can still alert them to potential, good information by using the Permalink feature. Okay? So figure out how to use that Permalink feature. Excuse me. Figure out how to use that Permalink feature. Yes, it might be a little bit of a tongue twister. And start using that to communicate with your team rather than constant all day long tagging. And like I said, If it's totally an emergency or something really big happened, that's totally fine to tag your teams and be like, hey, we got to check this out. But for the most part, we got to let go of this whole tagging thing. It's just, like I said, it's not going to help you in the long run. Okay. And if you find yourself, tagging people in the same, like let's say your upline has posted a lot of training information in the group, and so you find yourself tagging your recruits over and over again in these same particular posts, it'd be better for you to take a Word document, grab the permalinks from that post or from those posts and put them in a Word document. So that way you can quickly copy and paste, the 5 posts, the 10 posts that you find yourself constantly grabbing and tagging people in. And you can send that list to them in a private message and say, here is 10 very helpful things that I'd love for you to take a look at. And that way it's in one spot. It's not bumping everything to the top. It's not alerting everybody who's commented in that post that there's a new comment. And so it keeps the notifications limited, but at the same time, you're still able to get this information to your new recruits who might need it. So I hope this helps you guys think about tagging in a new way. And at the end of the day, it's your business. And if you want to tag everybody, then go ahead and tag everybody. But I'd like you to kind of look at it from a different perspective and kind of take a new turn in your tagging habits. All right, take care, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.